players got the shorter end of the stick, but they wanted that, they pushed for that. I was against it. I was at the point president of the council, but I didn't have enough executive power myself to vote against it, and that's it. And now they have to deal with it. And now I see the likes of Alcaraz and others. They're complaining about the length of the tournaments and being away from home. I understand him. I understand them. I mean, I don't like it too. I think that tennis really needs a reset of some kind on a bigger level. I think that our tours, respectively, are not functioning well at all. I mean, there's a lot of things that is happening in the backstage, meetings, and relationships are not going in the right direction. Grand Slams are the pillars. Grand Slams are going to always be Grand Slams. They're always going to be the most important tournaments we have in our sport. But respectively, I think the tours have to look into the formats, rules, calendar. There's a lot of complaints from Latin American players that have a shorter season. Latin American players have been for decades producing some of the best players in the world, and they have shorter and shorter seasons, on clay or hardcourt. They have a combination of the two. I feel like we are trying to band-aid on everything, just trying to fix something and put this tournament, take the, but what we have to do, in my opinion, if we want this sport to really improve and to be experiencing a long sustaining success in the future, in the next decades, and to be able to compete with the popularity of all the other global sports, we just have to take all of the interest sides in our sport and all of the key players, sit down, let's see what we can do. I don't see that happening, because what I've been hearing and what I've been seeing is in the last couple of years, there's a lot more conflict within the governing bodies of our sport than there is unity, unfortunately. So yeah, that's a long answer to your question, but essentially I'm all for innovation and change, because we have to maintain the culture and the tradition of our sport, which I always respected, in history. But we have to, how do we get younger audience to like tennis? PTPA did years ago. We did this research and study, and the age of the average tennis fan around the world was 61. With all due respect, how do we get younger people to really get hooked on tennis? And we get them to be interested in tennis for Grand Slams maybe, and that's it. But they're not going to sit for 4 hours and 5 hours and watch it every day, like that. It's just not going to happen. It's a short attention span. We have to see what the market is about. How do we get to them? Then in my opinion, we have to change the format and the tours, and have the tournaments have shorter matches, more dynamic. Be able to have something more interesting and shorter length, because this is too long. You know what I mean? I mean, Grand Slams, that's different, obviously, playing best of 5 and so forth. I have my opinions on that, but I think on the tours, at least we could play around, and we need to. But it's not happening, so let's see what happens there. Thank you.